just off the left, where it's flatter, would have been where they think that.
No, that's a long ways.
We do know he had horses. We know that one of the biggest predators in the state.
Yeah, no, that's nice hat. You don't know where I can get one there.
2 years he was in probate.
I like it.
David's brother, the 100-year-old, just turned 100 this week, remembers his grandfather telling him that when it was time to bring the hay in, the first thing you do was go to the captain's house and ask him what he thought the weather was going to be. And he was the local weathercaster. Because he was so good for his days at sea, he could tell you whether it was going to rain or not, or whether you should bring them in and it'll be dry enough to do it. And so they would all rely on the captain to decide whether to bring in the hay. Yes, that's the deal where they bought the first piece, and then a year later they bought the second piece. And David says they cleared the land, built a house. How much of that house we don't know, but they built part of the house. And then the captain went back by ship all the way to Scotland, got Elizabeth, and said, "You're going to love it. Come see where we're living, you're going to have a ball." And the poor lady was brought all the way by ship back to St. John, up the river to Fredericton, and probably by boat up to here. And there you go, honey. Here we are. Most of them went to that schoolhouse, at least for 1 year, and several of them for several years. So that's kind of it. And this was the land that he owned, part of the land that he owned.
Say it was staying with the water? Or
it went right down to the river.
We travel around here
approximately how many?
20 years.
Approximately 100-acre lots were sold.
You know, all the time. And you know, the beach is right over here, and the biking, and I've played volleyball, beach volleyball. You know, it's just, we're up here for skiing and everything. You know, like it's just all the time. Right up this highway here.
From his days at sea, and he owned a sixth of a shipping company that was quite big and quite active.
What was the name of that company?
The Patton Brothers. They were 5 brothers and him.
Okay.
What was called, and he had 1/6 on. They gave him 1/6.
Patton Brothers Shipping.
Patton Brothers Shipping.
And in St. John.
Yeah. No, this was out of England.
It's England. Okay.
Out of Glasgow. Glasgow.
Okay.
So I think he would have been reasonably wealthy, at least when he arrived here. But as Wayne says, most of that wealth went into property, went into your land. You didn't sit with a strong box of coins in your bed. You would have your land. And,
cattle and sheep. You had to buy people.
Was there any evidence like running into any pirates? Or?
No, but he twice in his career saved people who were
I saw that
sinking.
in the book. It said the rescue spotted a...
And Scott often, jump in because you know this stuff. Often they would see ships going down and they would keep going. Because they were on a timetable, they would make more money if they delivered their cargo quickly, and you didn't want to stop and bring the people on board.
You'd have to drop off
exactly. The captain twice stopped and saved people's lives, brought everything off the ship.
Yeah, one at St. John.
So he came to St. John, I think for lumber, pick up lumber, and whatever he was delivering.
Take lumber back over to England.
And then he would go to Cuba a lot to pick up molasses and take that back sugar. And there was speculation that he might have been, there was a lot of blockades back then in the Civil War, because British privateers were supplying the Confederacy. And so they'd run the blockade and they'd deliver to the Confederacy. But there's no evidence that he did any of that. He was, I think he was straight and narrow. He was looking after things for the owners and never ran any blockades or got into any trouble.
Honestly, right over there.
There's one more old relic we got to visit.
Oh, that!
Oh, yes.